Hi friends, in this video we'll quickly see how do we create Windows instance on AWS Cloud Infra. Once you log into the AWS Management Console, under the service, under the compute, you will find the service named as EC2. EC2 is nothing but Elastic Compute Cloud. Using this service, we can create virtual servers on cloud. Click on EC2 service. The EC2 dashboard will look like this. You can clearly see there is no running instances right now. In the left navigation, under the instances, you can click on instances link. In order to create any instance, you can click on launch instance button. So creating instance is a 7-step process. We are in step 1 and it is asking us to select an AMI. AMI is nothing but operating system. There is n number of operating system that is readily available. So depending upon your requirement, you can select any operating system. In this video, I am interested in creating Windows machine. So you can type Windows and click on enter. Select Windows instance and click on select. In the second step, it is asking us to select an instance type. This is nothing but for this machine, how much CPU do you want, how much memory do you want. This is also, there is n number of plans. So select depending upon your requirement. In this example, I am selecting T2 micro instance and clicking on next. In the third step, it is asking us to create instance details. Like in the single step, do you want to create how many number of instances you want to create? 1 instance, 2 instance, 10 number of instances in the single step. But I want to create 1 instance in this example. So clicking on add storage. This step is nothing but for this machine, how much hard disk do you want to attach? By default, 30 GB hard disk already attached to this machine. If you want to create any other hard disk to this machine, you can click on add value and click on another hard disk to it. So I am going with default, which is coming with 30 GB hard disk. So click on next. This step is not important. Adding tags, we can add tags later also. So you can click on next. This step is very important. So it is a configure security group. Security group is nothing but after creating your machine, in order to connect to that machine, which port should be open. So by default, RDP port should be open. RDP port is nothing but remote desktop, using which we can create a we can connect to the Windows machine using remote desktop. So if you want any other rules, you can click on add rule. You can add HTTP or HTTPS or any other SSH or any other protocols. So click on, so I am leaving with default RDP and click on review and launch. So in the final step, it is asking us to check all the details, which is right or not. So instance type, I am creating I am selecting AMI as Windows machine, and instance type is T2 micro, which is coming with 1 CPU and 1 memory, 1 GB of memory, and security group is RDP, which is in order to connect the Windows machine using remote desktop. Instance details is we are creating 1 number of instance, and storage is 30 GB hard disk. We are not added any tags. So click on launch. So this step is very important. After creating your machine, in order to connect to that machine, this key pair is very important. So select create new pair and give any name. In this case, I am giving win1 as my key pair name. You can add any name and download key pair. So it is asking Win1 is already exists. So Windows. I'm adding the name as Windows key 1. Yeah. So download this key pair. On the desktop, I'm saving this one, Windows key. Click on Launch Instance button. You can clearly see here the Windows instance are now launching. So it is under launching stage. Click on View Instances. Here you can see the instance is created, but it is in pending state. You can check the status here. By the time you can add tags. So this is my Windows machine. So you can add tag name as Windows. You can add. So you can clearly check the instance states. Now it is running. So once it is running state, you can click. You can select. In order to connect to that machine, you can select that instance and click on connect. So you can see all the details here, all the instance details here. This is the Windows instance ID, this is a public IP, this is a private IP of this machine. So what are the security and networking details, IPv4 and storage. We are added like 30 GB hard disk to it. So you can see all the details here once. So in order to connect this machine, click on this instance and click on connect. Select RDP client option. So in order to connect this machine, you need three things. One is a public DNS, username and password. So for easy reference, I am copying public DNS value into the notepad. This is my user ID and click on get password. See here, in order to get the password, it is asking us to upload the key pair that is already I have downloaded on the desktop. You can browse on the desktop. You can select the Windows key on, click on open. Once you click on open, so decrypt password, so you will get the password. Copy this password. So I have all three options. This is the DNS, this is the user ID and this is the password. So we are ready to connect the launched instance. Once we having all this information, user ID, password and DNS, so click on remote desktop connection. Copy and paste this DNS value, click on connect, type the user ID, type the password here, click on OK. So now we are going to connect the Windows instance that we are launched right now. Take 1 minute time in order to launch new machine. Once the machine is launched, we can check all the details. So this is the EC2 instance that we are created using the AWS cloud. See, this is the machine. It still takes some time in order to show all the details. See here all the details like instance ID, public IP, private IP, what is the instance we are selected, T2 micro, and if you go to this PC, and this is the 30 GB hard disk that we are selected while creating an instance. So in order to check the Windows machine that you have created, click on Windows, select the check the private IP 172.31.10.164. See here 172.31.10 and 164. So the same Windows machine that we are checking from the GUI that we are connected using the RDP machine. Hope you find this video is very helpful. Thank you so much.